Okay, so I'm going to start a whole series on stock market investing versus crypto investing. There's at least probably going to be 3 videos in this series, but I think this is incredible. Anybody has access to it, and it is so versatile. Plus, the potential, which will be covered in later videos, is potentially far greater with crypto investing, as well as some of the risk. But the access for the average person to be able to participate in a way that has only been reserved for the wealthy is, I believe, what makes the Bitcoin technology, Bitcoin investing, crypto investing so incredible. This, by the way, this is not investing advice. I mean, this is my opinion. You might as well consider this straight satire if you want. I mean, I don't suggest you take investment advice from me. I have no credentials other than the fact I'm passionate about this space and I've done my own research. I encourage you to do your own research as well. I'm going to do multiple videos here because I have a lot to say and I like to keep my videos short. When I watch other people's videos on YouTube, I like to watch videos that are 5 minutes or 10 minutes at tops most of the time, and that's the kind of videos that I like to produce as well. First up, we're going to talk about IPO versus ICO. What is it and what's the difference in it? So first of all, an IPO is on the traditional stock market and it's called an initial public offering, versus in the crypto space or the Bitcoin investing space, it's called an ICO, initial coin offering. So let's take a look. What does it take if you decided, hey, I hear a company's going to go public, they're going to be traded on the stock market. I want to participate in that. What do I need to do? Well, we're on Fidelity's page right here. Fidelity says how to participate in an initial public offering. So you're like, okay, great. I got my job. I'm, maybe a young college student or maybe fresh into the workforce, or maybe I'm in my 30s. I've never really invested or saved any money. I hear this thing about IPOs. I hear some great companies coming out. I want to figure out how do I got to participate in it. Well, first of all, let's talk about what is an IPO. It says here an IPO is an initial public offering. It's the process of a company selling its shares to the public for the first time. IPOs are typically used by young companies to raise capital for future business expansion. These shares are initially issued in the primary market at an offering price determined by the lead underwriter. This is who organizes the syndicate of banks and brokers. Okay, this is important. Remember this in a moment. The primary market consists of investment banks, brokers, dealers, and the lead underwriter assembles. These banks and broker-dealers allocate shares to institutional and individual investors. Being allocated shares at the offering price is referred to participating in the IPO. Participation in the IPO happens before the security is first traded on any of the stock markets. In other words, the IPO takes place. A lot of people think, hey, the day Google got traded on the market, I bought some. Yes, but before you bought it, that stock had already had investment banks and brokers and dealers, as well as, whoever the underwriters are getting paid oftentimes through stock shares. So the biggest guys in the market, the biggest financial players in the market, get their crack even before it becomes an IPO. And then shares are allocated for institutional investors and individual investors. Institutionals are like your big investment banks, and then individual investors. Okay, so maybe you're like, well, I'm an individual investor. Now I want to participate in IPO. What do I have to do? Well, not so fast. You can't participate in, first of all, you don't always know what sweetheart deals are made behind the scenes here. That's not possible in IPO. How much did this underwriter get paid in stock or stock options, if anything? It's hard to find that information out. It's not easily disclosed, and it's oftentimes complicated for the average, Joe down the road to figure that kind of stuff out. So you come down here, you're an individual investor. I want to participate in this. They make it sound like you get the first crack at it, but again, it's already been wheeled and dealed behind the scenes before this individual price is set. So what do I need to know? First, you need to meet at least one of the following eligibility requirements for participating in an IPO. You have to be rich, basically. You have to either have $100,000 or $500,000 in household assets, or it can be in a 401k, a 403b as well, retirement funds in the U.S. here. Make 36 trades a year, be a premium private client group customer. So in other words, you have to be well connected, well established, or you have to have a lot of money. You have to already be very, financial savvy, making a lot of trades. Okay. Now, the argument for this, by the way, is this one here is they're saving it for their best customers. Arguably, this is a best customer, although they say here it's about having more experience. And then here, they say that you have to be quote unquote sophisticated. Sophisticated, in other words, you have to be smart enough to be able to make this kind of decision. Somehow they define sophisticated investor, and that is a legitimate legal term here in the States. They define that as someone who has a certain net worth, meaning you can't be rich and dumb at the same time is what it sounds like. The rationale behind it is stupid. The bottom line is the guy making 50 grand a year, living paycheck to paycheck, who's trying to scrape some money together to buy a few shares to start his journey, to start learning, he can't do it. He has no way out. This market is blocked off for the big boys. So let's go back here. An ICO. So initial coin offering, what is that? Well, this is where a company, typically it's a technology-based company in the crypto investing circle usually. They oftentimes create a coin that can be traded on the blockchain, and oftentimes people will buy into this coin for a couple of reasons. One is they believe in the company, they believe in the technology, very similar to why you'd want to buy an IPO. You believe in the company, you believe in what they're doing, and they will raise money just like IPOs raise money. These companies put out coins many times just to simply raise money for future expansion, future growth, future technological development. And they, just like IPOs, ICOs, once they're done, they raise, in most cases, millions of dollars for the company. So what does it take to participate in an ICO? Nearly nothing. Anybody can do it that owns Bitcoin or Ethereum. You convert your Bitcoin to Ethereum or vice versa, and you simply can buy into an ICO. Then they start trading them on the open markets. You don't have to be a sophisticated investor. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be a good customer to a large brokerage firm, which is what this basically is saying. If you have to be a good customer of Fidelity, you have to be well connected. It has to be who you know. With ICOs, it's not about who you know. You just have to be aware that they're taking place, know what website to go to purchase them, make certain that you have the proper amount of Bitcoin or Ethereum to purchase them, and you can buy them. You are in. The greatest thing about this space is that it is so open to everyone because it is unregulated. And I will tell you, it's not going to always be this way. I mean, the cryptocurrency market cap is way up there. I mean, I think it's $150 billion now. As that market cap continues to grow, as more and more people become aware of cryptocurrencies, as the wealthiest people, and we're not talking about the millionaires of the world, we're not talking about the 100 millionaires of the world. We're talking about the billionaires and mostly the multi-billionaires, the guys who run the large corporate, investment banks, etc. They're not, and the politicians that they pay, they're going to attempt to make this much more difficult eventually. It will be challenging because they can't totally control the market, but they will make it more difficult through various laws. However, as of today, this is why it's so important that now you learn about cryptocurrency. Now you learn about this technology. Take advantage of it now. Start small, learn. As you learn more, invest more. There is so much opportunity. In upcoming videos, I'm going to start talking about the difference in cash flow, in other words, like dividends between the stock market and crypto investing. So stay tuned for that as well. We're going to be talking about the potential growth in each market. So which market offers the most potential for growth and what that looks like and what are the areas of growth. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up in over the next several days, over the next several videos. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. Click the notification icon if you want to be notified when the next videos come out. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. God bless.